Hey guys, this is Camus, and welcome to, I believe it's Chess Beauty 48. At the end of 47, we left you with this position, and this is white to play and draw. I like this study because it has an idea that is definitely useful in practical games. And so let's get on with it. Okay, so give it a try. Try to study it. Excuse me. Try to solve it. This is, and I should mention it's Gazanyi is the composer from 1934. All right, so what's going on in this position, assuming that you've had a chance to look at it? Um, all right, so white has to draw. It means he has to get rid of the pawn and the rook, or swap the bishop for the rook and win the pawn, something of that sort. And of course, black is trying to win here. Now, a typical wrong move that white can make here is say bishop to e3 check, king to d1, king to g3, rook to e1, and this threatens to take the bishop if white grabs the pawn, which would still be a win for him. So after something like bishop to f2, he just queens. Okay, another wrong-headed approach from the starting position would be king to f3. We have rook to f1, and now the bishop is pinned, so we can only make a king move. And the only sensible one is king to g2, but then that queens and wins. So how about bishop to d4? Well, this doesn't work because of the rook check, and then we queen. Finally, bishop to g3, rook to f1, and we queen as in the previous variation. So just really by a process of elimination, you probably found the key move, king to g3. Okay, so now first we're going to look at the actual solution and then come back to look at the side variations because they'll make more sense once we look at the solution here. One of the standard ideas that black has is to either check white or attack his bishop in order to try and queen the pawn, or at least get a winning material advantage if the pawn is taken. So how do we avoid that? Well, in the current position, black doesn't really have any good moves. If he tries, say, rook to f1, that fails to bishop to e3 check, and then we can just take the pawn next move. So rook to f1 is no good. We'll just move back. And rook to g1, we just take the pawn, of course, and that's not winning. So no rook moves in the current position are sensible, so we're reduced to king moves. And let's go back to the start position. After king to g3, his best move is actually king to c2. We'll look at the alternatives, as I said, later. Now, white's idea in this study is to use the black king as a shield so that black doesn't have a double attack on the bishop and the queening square as is normal procedure in these type of endings. So, for instance, bishop to c5. This is the maneuver you had to see to solve the study properly. Okay, so he's going to continue to use the king as a shield, as I said. King to b3, bishop to b6, king to a4, bishop to a7, king to b5, bishop to b8, king to c6. And now we play king to g2 because the bishop is on the crucial diagonal. And after rook to b1, his only sensible try, we can just take. Okay, so that's the idea, and it's a beautiful idea, and I believe actually you got to use this idea in a game. It's I don't remember the game, but maybe in even more than one game. So I said when we go back, let's go back to the start position and look at the black alternatives to king to c2. They all lose. Excuse me, they all draw. Okay, king to c2. So let's try king to d2. And it's the same idea. We just shield. We use the king as a shield. But here he can go to h8 because he's shielded by his own pawn here. King to e3, king to g2, rook to c1, and king takes h2. Okay, so let's go back. Say he does king to b2, king to g2, rook to f1, bishop to d4 check, king to c2, and we take the pawn. Let's try king to d1. Again, we use the shield. So the same as the other variation where he went to king to d2. And say if he goes to king to b1 instead, then bishop to b6. If he goes rook to f1, or we looked at that already. If you try, and we looked at rook to g1. So there you have it. A very nice idea, a shielding idea. And we'll just go through the solution again so that all these variations don't clog your memory of the clear principle involved. King to c2, shield, king to b3, shield, 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 and now we're on the critical diagonal. King to g2, and it's a draw. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our next position for Chess Beauty 49. We will save that, yes. Oh dearie. Okay, and this is, believe it or not, is white to play and win, even though he's 2 pawns down in this position. There's a very nice, interesting principle involved, but I won't even tell you the name of it because it'll be a clue as to how to solve this. Okay, we'll see you on the next Chess Beauty. Thank you for watching.